In our previous video, we have learned what is virtual LAN, what is virtual LAN trunk and how to configure them. In this video, we are going to learn what is inter-VLAN routing, different types of inter-VLAN routing and how to configure them. Hello friends, this is Abhishek here and welcome back to my channel Technical Tech. Let's the tech begin. Inter-VLAN routing is used to communicate between two or more different virtual LAN, and for this you need a layer 3 device called a router. There are three different ways to configure inter-VLAN routing. Number one is the normal method, which is also called the old method of configuring inter-VLAN routing. In this particular one method, you need multiple ports for multiple virtual LAN. I mean to say, if there is 10 virtual LAN in a network, means for adding this 10 virtual LAN to the router, you must need 10 physical ports, then only you can add this virtual LAN to the router, or else it is not possible. So from overcoming this problem, this second method was launched, and this method is called router on a stick. This particular one method allows you to add multiple virtual LAN to the single port of the router by creating the sub interfaces. And after that, the last method is inter-VLAN routing on a switch. This particular one method allows you to configure inter-VLAN routing on the switch itself, but for this you need a layer 3 switch. Now let's move to our computer screen where I will show you how to configure basic inter-VLAN routing. And whatever command I am going to use in this tutorial, you can directly take a note from our website www.learnabhi.com, or you can download our Android application Networking Plus. The link is given in the description section below. So guys, let's configure basic inter-VLAN routing. So first of all, I will show you how to configure inter-VLAN routing in the old method, okay? And it is the basic configuration, so that it will be easy for you to understand. For that, I am going to take one router, one switch and two PC. Now let's connect all these three devices. For that, I am going to use a straight throw cable as it is used to connect these similar devices. So port 1 of the switch is connected to PC1, port 2 of the switch is connected to PC2, port 3 of the switch is connected to the first port of the router, that is F0Y0, port 4 is connected to second port of the router, that is F0Y1. Okay, now it's time to configure all these four devices. So first of all, let's assign IP address to the PC. So PC1 IP address I'm going to assign as 10.0.0.2. PC2 I'm going to assign the IP address as 20.0.0.2. Now as we have assigned the IP address to both this PC, now it's time to create and configure virtual LAN. So let's move to our switch. So enter the command en to enable the privilege mode. Now let's enter to configuration mode. Now what is the command for creating virtual LAN? It is VLAN, and enter the VLAN name. So let's enter the number as VLAN 10. So VLAN 10 is created. Let's assign a name for this. So I'm going to assign the name as production. Hit enter. Now let's create VLAN number 20. Enter. Let's assign the name as cells. Hit enter. Exit. So what we have did is we have created VLAN number 10 and we have assigned the name as production. We have created VLAN number 20 and we have assigned the name as cells. Okay, now the second step is we have to add port to this particular virtual LAN. So what is the command for add multiple ports to the same virtual LAN? I will show you right now, but before that let's understand what I am going to do right now. See guys, port number 1 is connected to PC1 and port number 3 is connected to the first port of the router. So what we are going to do is we are going to add the first and the third port of the switch to the same virtual LAN so that they can communicate with each other. So what is the command? It is int space range space enter the port number. So first port number is F0/1 space comma. What is the next port number? It is F0/3. This F0/3 port is connected to the router and hit enter. So these two ports are selected. Now I am going to add these two ports to the same virtual LAN. So what is the command for adding a port to the virtual LAN? It is switch port access VLAN and enter the VLAN number. So the VLAN number is 10. Hit enter. So we have successfully added these two ports to the VLAN number 10. Now let's exit. Now next step is these two ports, port number 2 and port number 4, we are going to add to the same virtual LAN so that they can communicate with each other. So what is the command for selecting the port? It is int space range space enter the port number. So port number is F0/2. This is the second port of the switch, and F0/4, it is the fourth port of the switch which is connected to router. Hit enter. Now let's add this two port to the same virtual LAN, that is switch port access VLAN 20. Hit enter, exit. Okay, so we have successfully added these two ports to the 10 virtual LAN and these two ports to the virtual LAN number 20. Now it's time for configuring the router. As here you can see, we have configured this switch. Still the port is red. Why? Because we have not yet configured the router. So let's move to router and configure it. So let's enable the privilege mode, go to global configuration mode. Now select the port int space F. So this is the first port I am going to select. The first port name is F0/0. Hit enter. Enter the command no shutdown to enable this port. Hit enter. Now the next step is you have to assign the IP address to this particular port. So just you enter the simple command IP address. Enter the IP address is, I am going to enter the IP address as 10.0.0.1, and this particular IP address will act as a gateway. This particular one PC is assigned with the IP address 10.0.0.2, so it can communicate to the router with the help of this particular one IP address, and this IP address is 10.0.0.1. Now what is the subnet mask for this? It is 255.0.0.0. Hit enter. Done. Now let's exit from here. Now again enter the same command, that is int F0/1. This is the second port of the router. Type no shutdown to enable this port. Now let's assign the IP address. So this time we are going to assign the IP address as 20.0.0.1, and this time this particular one IP address will act as a gateway for the second virtual LAN, that is virtual LAN number 20. Hit enter. Now exit. That's all. This is how to configure router. So we have configured the switch, we have configured the router, and as here you can see all the ports are up and able to communicate with each other because all the signals are green. Now let's try to ping whether the PC1 is able to communicate with the router or not. Let's see. Ping space 10.0.0.1. Hit enter. So as you can see, I am easily able to communicate with the gateway, right? It is the gateway. Now let's see whether I am able to ping with the gateway of the second network. So what is the IP address for the gateway of second network? It is 20.0.0.1. Hit enter. See, it says request timed out. Now can you tell me why I am getting this error request timeout? Any idea? No? Let me show you why. I am getting this error because I have not entered the gateway on these two PC. Right? We have to enter the gateway here. So go to IP address, and as you can see it is empty. I have not entered the gateway. So what is the gateway of the first network? It is 10.0.0.1. Now what is the gateway of second network? It is 20.0.0.1. Now let's close it, and now let's try to ping again. Go to command prompt, ping 20.0.0.1, hit enter, and as you can see I am easily able to communicate with the second network. Now let's try to ping the PC on the network 2, that is 20.0.0.2. What do you think, will it be able to ping or not? Let's see. 20.0.0.2, hit enter. So as you can see, I am easily able to communicate with the second PC 2, that is PC on the virtual LAN number 20. So this is how easily you can configure inter-VLAN routing in a network. And if you have any doubt or you want to know the full details of the command what I have used in this video, you can directly take a note from my website www.learnabhi.com or from my Android application Networking Plus. All the link you will get in the description section below. So guys, hope you have enjoyed watching this video. Then please like, share and leave your valuable feedback in the comment section below. And for more amazing tech videos like this, click here to subscribe to my channel Technical Tech, and also press the bell icon so that whenever I upload a new video, you will get a notification update. And if you have not yet downloaded my Android application, then what are you waiting for? Go and download it right now. The link is in the description section below. Thanks for watching.